All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're going deep, really deep into the Dahua Airshield wireless security system.
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah, we've got their brochure, and let me tell you, it's jam-packed with some next-level technology.
It seems like they're aiming to redefine home security, not just stick to those old school alarms.
Totally. And that's exactly what we're going to explore, how this thing works, its unique features,
Yeah.
and what it tells us about the future of home security. I'm already seeing buzzwords like invisible connection and cloud services, so it's going to be a wild ride.
Oh, and right off the bat, this EN50131 Grade 2 standard pops up. That essentially means this system has passed some serious security tests and checks all the boxes.
So it's the real deal, reliable, and tough to crack. Got it. But let's start with the basics. What are the core components of this air shield system? What are we dealing with here?
Picture this. The central hub, that's the brain. Then you have all these smart peripherals acting as the eyes and ears, sensors, detectors, cameras, you name it.
Okay, I'm following you.
And then the app on your phone brings it all together, giving you the control.
So we're talking no more clunky keypads or wires all over the place.
Bingo. That's where the invisible connection magic happens. Everything communicates wirelessly, super clean, easy to set up, and you're in control from your phone wherever you are.
Okay, now we're talking. But this wireless communication, how secure is it really? Isn't there a risk of hacking or interference?
Well, that's where their AirFly 3.0 tech steps in. It's all about frequency hopping, meaning the signal constantly jumps around, making it really hard to intercept or jam.
So it's like an ever-changing code, super sneaky. I like it.
Plus, it's all locked down with military-grade AES 128 encryption, so you can rest easy.
Super secure. But they also mentioned RFHD. What's the deal with that?
That's how you get those crisp high-res images, for those security camera feeds and snapshots from the motion detectors.
Wait, hold on. A motion detector that can take pictures. That's impressive.
Oh. And this is where the cloud integration kicks in. They have a whole suite of services to manage everything: data storage, alerts, remote access. It's all in the cloud.
So the cloud is like the heart of the operation,
Yeah.
pumping information and keeping everything in sync. I'm curious, tell me more about these cloud services. How do they work exactly?
Well, they've got different apps for different users. The DMSS app puts you in control. You can arm disarm, view live feeds, the whole 9 yards.
I see, so it's user-friendly.
Then there's Dolink Care for the installers to handle setup and maintenance. And last but not least, Converter Design for ARCs, those professional monitoring centers.
So they've created a whole ecosystem around security, catering to everyone involved. Smart move. But how does everything physically connect? Is there some sort of map in this brochure that shows how it all comes together?
You bet. They've got a topology diagram that gives you a visual overview of the system's layout. The alarm hub is at the center, communicating with all the peripherals through that AirFly 3.0 tech we talked about.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So the hub is the central command, but how does it connect to the internet?
They've got all the bases covered. You can connect it directly to your router with an Ethernet cable, or if you prefer wireless, it has built-in Wi-Fi.
Standard stuff so far.
But here's the kicker. They also offer a 4G model. It can connect through the cellular network.
Hold on, a cellular connection. That's a game changer. What happens if my power goes out or the internet's down?
Well, that's precisely why they've included it. You've always got that extra layer of security, even if your home network crashes.
That's a relief. So even if everything else fails, I'm still protected.
Impressive. But let's talk about the actual devices. What are the essentials to get started with this system?
Sure. You start with the hub, your command center, and they offer both Wi-Fi and 4G options to suit your needs.
Got it. The hub is first.
Then you'll want some detectors to act as your eyes and ears. Motion detectors, those door and window sensors.
But what about that PIR camera? The one that can snap pictures? Oh yeah, that one's a must-have. And then, depending on the layout of your home and your security needs, you might consider a repeater to extend that wireless range.
A repeater. That makes sense. Anything else?
Well, maybe some environmental sensors as well.
Environmental sensors. What do those do exactly?
Think smoke detection, water leak sensors, even broken glass detectors. This system goes beyond security. It's like a guardian for your entire home.
That's pretty impressive. Tell me more about those detectors. What are the different types and how do they work their magic?
Well, they have quite the variety to cover every scenario. Well, they've got those classic ones, motion detectors for those big open spaces and door and window sensors, to cover those entry points.
Yeah, those are the basics.
Right, but even those have some really neat features.
Yeah.
Like the motion detectors, they combine infrared and microwave technology, so it makes them way more accurate and less likely to go off, because of your pet, or just something random moving around.
So no more false alarms every time my cat decides to sprint across the living room in the middle of the night. That's a plus.
Exactly. And then for those environmental threats we talked about, they've got a water leak detector.
Oh, a water leak detector.
Yeah.
Where would you even put something like that?
Well, anywhere that's, prone to leaks, think basements, under sinks, near those appliances.
Hmm.
If it senses any moisture, it'll send an alert straight to your phone so you can catch it early before it turns into a major flood.
Oh man, that would have been a lifesaver a few years ago when my washing machine decided to go crazy. Knowing about a leak right away could prevent so much damage.
Absolutely. And when it comes to fire safety, they've got a smoke detector.
Yeah, smoke detectors, those are essential.
Right. But this one uses a split spectrum sensor, which means it's really good at telling the difference between actual smoke and things like steam or dust. So fewer false alarms.
That's a big deal. I know so many people who just disable their smoke detectors because they're tired of those annoying false alarms.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Not at all. But let's get back to the security side of things. You're talking about a motion detector that can actually take pictures.
Yeah, the PIR camera. It's pretty cool. So if it detects motion, it doesn't just sound the alarm. It also snaps a high-resolution photo and sends it right to your phone.
No way. So
Right.
you can actually see what's going on. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep. No more wondering if it was just the wind or something more serious.
Right. You have actual evidence. But what about privacy? Is this camera always recording?
Good question, and the brochure addresses that. The camera only takes pictures when an alarm is triggered or if you specifically request a snapshot through the app.
Oh, see.
So it's not constantly recording or streaming video. You don't have to worry about being watched 24/7.
That makes sense. It's about capturing evidence when it's needed, not constant surveillance. Okay, so we've got all these sensors and detectors, but what about the alarm itself? What kind of sirens do they have?
Well, they offer both indoor and outdoor sirens. The indoor one's great for apartments or smaller homes,
Okay.
and it can even double as a doorbell when the system's disarmed.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, and then the outdoor siren, it's weatherproof, tamper resistant. It's loud enough to alert the neighbors and hopefully scare off any intruders.
All right, I'm already feeling safer just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But all this tech is great. But what really matters is how well it integrates with other devices and platforms.
Yeah.
Can this AirShield system play nice with other smart home gadgets or existing security systems?
Oh, absolutely. It's designed to be super flexible and work seamlessly with all sorts of devices.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Okay, so let's say you have one of those cool indoor monitors, like a touchscreen panel that controls your whole smart home. This system can integrate with that.
Ah, so you can use the same panel for everything. That's convenient.
Right. You can arm and disarm your security system, view live feeds from your cameras, get alarm notifications all in one place.
So it's like a central command center for your whole smart home?
Exactly. And if you have a more traditional security setup with cameras and a recorder, AirShield can integrate with that too. Let's say a motion sensor triggers an alarm. Not only will the siren go off, but your cameras will automatically start recording, capturing everything.
Wow, so you get both audio and visual evidence.
Mm.
That's pretty powerful.
It is, and it works both ways. If one of your security cameras detects motion, it can trigger an alarm on the AirShield system, activating the siren and sending you an alert. It's like having two security systems working in tandem to create a really strong defense.
That's really smart. Seems like they've thought of everything. But what about professional monitoring? Having someone actually keep an eye on things and dispatch help if needed.
That's a key part of any serious security system, and the AirShield definitely delivers. It can integrate with professional alarm receiving centers in a couple of ways.
Okay, let's break that down. What are the different options?
The most common way is through this standard communication protocol called SIA DC-09. It's like a universal language that a lot of security systems and ARCs use, so it's usually a pretty straightforward setup.
So if my ARC uses that protocol, connecting the AirShield should be a piece of cake.
Yep. But they also offer this really cool solution called Converter for ARCs that might not use SIA DC-09 or prefer a different setup.
What's so special about this converter?
Think of it like a universal translator for security systems. It can convert the AirShield system signals into whatever format the specific ARC needs.
I see. So it bridges the gap between different systems. That's pretty clever.
Hmm.
But why would an ARC choose to use converter instead of just a direct SIA connection?
Well, there are a few reasons. Some ARCs might not want a direct connection to the panel, for security reasons or to avoid overloading their systems. Others might not have a static IP address, which is a fixed internet address, making direct connection tricky as. Converter can solve those issues.
So it has flexibility and make sure it works with all sorts of ARCs.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just relaying events. Converter can actually display the ARC's information on the user and installer apps.
Oh, so it's all connected?
Right. It creates a much more seamless experience.
Mhm.
Wow, this is getting really advanced. I'm starting to see how this Air Shield is way more than just a simple alarm system. It's a whole platform for building a truly integrated and smart security network.
Yeah, it is. But we haven't even talked about those extra gadgets you mentioned earlier. Things like the remote controls and input expanders. What are those all about?
Oh, yeah, those are the fun extras. They add even more functionality and customization to the system. For example, the remote controls let you arm and disarm the system, trigger alarms, even control other smart devices in your home, all with a few button presses.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Tell me more about these remote controls. What do they look like and how do they work?
Well, there are two main types. They have a keypad, which is kind of like a traditional alarm panel but wireless,
Mm.
and a key fob, which is a small portable remote you can attach to your keychain. So the keypad's perfect, for a central spot, maybe by the front door. It lets everyone have their own code or even use those IC cards to arm and disarm the system. No more sharing one code with the whole family and wondering, who's coming and going.
All right, makes sense. So it's more secure and you can track who's using the system.
Yeah.
And the key fob is for when you're on the move.
Yeah, exactly. It's small, convenient. You can arm, disarm, or even trigger a panic alarm, all with a few button presses. You could disarm the system before you even step out of your car, which is great for safety, if you're coming home late.
I like it. Gives you that peace of mind.
Uh-huh.
But we haven't touched on those input expanders yet. What are those all about?
Those are for the tinkerers, those who want to get creative and integrate the Air Shield with other devices or systems that aren't directly compatible.
Okay, I'm listening.
Like, let's say you have some old wired security sensors that you don't want to replace. The input expander lets you connect those to the Air Shield, so you can bring your old setup into the wireless world.
So you don't have to throw everything out and start from scratch. You can gradually upgrade.
Exactly. And then there's the relay and the wall switch. Those are like the ultimate DIY tools for those who love home automation.
Wait, hold on. Those sound interesting. Tell me more.
So these let you control other electrical devices through the Air Shield system.
Okay, give me an example. I'm not sure I'm following.
Sure. Imagine you want the lights to turn on automatically if an alarm is triggered. Or maybe you want your smart blinds to close when you arm the system. You could even set it up so that if a water leak's detected, the water main shuts off automatically.
No way. That's amazing. It's like your house becomes this smart protective shell.
It really is. It's like taking home security and automation to a whole new level.
I'm blown away by all this. It's clear this AirShield system is more than just an alarm. It's a platform for creating a truly smart and secure home environment.
It really changes how we think about security, moving beyond just break-ins to a more comprehensive approach that anticipates and responds to all kinds of threats.
And it seems super user-friendly and adaptable, so anyone can customize it to their specific needs and lifestyle.
Yeah, they've really thought of everything. It's not just about protecting your property, but also enhancing your peace of mind and overall comfort.
Well, I think it's safe to say we've successfully navigated our deep dive into this Dahua Airshield wireless security system. It's been an eye-opening journey exploring all its features and capabilities.
Absolutely. From those core technologies to that impressive lineup of devices and those incredible integration options.
It's clear that this system represents a major leap forward in home security.
Totally. It's packed with innovation and intelligence, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
I'm excited to see how technology like this will continue to evolve and shape the future of how we protect and interact with our homes.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be in the world of smart home security.
Well, on that note, that wraps up our deep dive for today. We hope you found this exploration informative and engaging. As always, we encourage you to keep learning, keep exploring, and stay safe out there.
Thanks for tuning in.